Hey YouTube, this is Ziggy J. I'm going to reboot one of my videos I made last year. It was called Don't Chase Women. And the video was made in response to a few YouTubers, Kent TV, Savvy Guy, Infinite One, Jamil, just to name about four of them. These guys have been on YouTube for years, especially Savvy Guy, making videos, kind of expressing their frustration and displeasure with dating and women, not being able to get women, not being able to get sex, etc., etc. So I made the video, just kind of detailing my thoughts and opinions on what they were doing wrong, what they had detailed in their videos in the past of what they were doing. Um, so in the video, I agreed with the overall message in my video. There were just some things that could have been said differently, some things that probably shouldn't have been said, and some things that could have been, should have been added or taken out. I've been reading a book by Corey Wayne. He's a dating coach lately, and I'm probably going to kind of expounds on, or expounds, I think that's the word, on some of the things that he said in his book, as well as kind of go back over some things that I said in my original video. So, don't chase women. And I say don't chase women because women like to do the chasing. And a lot of guys don't really understand that women would rather do the chasing. Even if you ask the average woman, would she rather be chased, or would she rather do the chasing? And 9 times out of 10, the women will say, I want to be chased. But in actuality, that's not what women respond to. In actuality, women respond to chasing. When you chase a woman and you're calling her, you're courting her, you're texting her, you're buying her flowers, you're doing all these things that the woman says that she wants, and then she doesn't respond to it, or she's going cold on you and she's not answering your calls and texts as much, or she's dodging dates. Guys get confused and they get frustrated. Well, I'm doing what she told me that she liked and what she told me that she wanted me to do, and she's ignoring me, she's not answering me back, etc., etc. And it's because what I've learned and what I've heard from dating experts, which I agree with them, is that you can't really take what a woman says that she wants to face value. You have to pay attention to what she responds to. Women are we all know that women are emotional creatures. They are feelers. So they're more reactionary. They respond to stimuli. So a woman can tell you that she would love for a guy that she's interested in to call her 24/7 and send her flowers every day and do X, Y, and Z. But then the guy does it and then she backs away and she, goes cold. And he's like, okay, well, why did you tell me this? You want this when this is not what I'm not getting a good response from you when I do these things. Just because, well, a woman is going to tell you what she thinks that she wants. A woman is going to tell you what she thinks society expects her to want in a guy. But she's going to respond to something very different. And this is what confuses a lot of guys, and this is what frustrates them, and it is very frustrating. Because you're being told one thing, and men tend to be more logical. When you tell a man something, or when men say that they want something, that's what they tend to go after. But when women do it, they tend to respond to something very, different. And that's what leads me to the subject of bad boys, jerks, whatever you want to call them, thugs, gangsters, hoodlums, whatever, and why these guys have a lot of women around them. Well, these guys tend to have a lot of women around them because these guys approach life or approach dating as a big ocean full of possibilities. So if they go around and they get rejected by one woman, well, that's not a big deal because there's literally an ocean full of other fish that they can go after, and this is the truth. You can go after a sea bass, you can go after a trout, you can go after a shark, you can go after a jellyfish. There's no limitation to the amount of women at your disposal. And that's how these men look at it. So these guys don't put women on pedestals. These guys don't dote on a woman's looks and how wonderful and smart and beautiful she is 24/7, especially if he's not in a serious relationship with her. They're not doing that. They're going around, they're saying, "Look, this is who I am. I'm awesome. If you want my time, you have to earn it." And she either earns his time or she doesn't. And if she doesn't want to do that, he goes on to the next. It's nothing for him. Rejection is no big deal. So these guys have this type of demeanor. So it's not that women are attracted to men that treat them badly. Is that women are attracted to men that give off a certain vibe. And if you give off a vibe, and I know a lot of some guys don't like hearing this word, but you have to be confident. I know that it gets tiring to be told that over and over and over again, but this is what women respond to. And if you don't have a lot of confidence, then it would be in your best interest to maybe work on your confidence before you go out and approach women, because women can tell. Women, confidence is like an aroma of like freshly baked chocolate chip cookies, and not having confidence is the equivalent to the aroma of a skunk. Women can tell when you have confidence versus when you don't have confidence. And if you don't have confidence, women are going to turn their nose up at you. That's just what it is, and they can tell. Women can also tell when you're too needy. It's not a good idea to be too needy. If you're doing something, if you're busy, and a woman calls you and texts you, and she knows that she can get you to stop doing whatever that you're doing to attend to her, she's not going to look upon that favorably. You may think in your mind, well, that means I'm giving her a lot of attention and she should like that. In theory, yes, you would think so. But that's not what the women are responding to. They don't like guys who are too needy and who are doormats and who are at their every beck and call. A woman wants to know that you're busy. A woman wants to know that she needs to earn your time, that earning your time, is better. It's kind of like when you earn an A in class versus when you cheat to get an A. When you sure, you're getting an A in both scenarios, but you feel more accomplished when you put the work in, when you studied, you paid attention in class, you did all your classwork, you did all your homework, and then you earned the A fair and square because you know the material, versus when you are in class and you kind of take a peek over at the next desk to see the answers, you put in the answers and you got the A. Sure, you got the A, but one gives you more of a satisfaction than the other. Women like being able to earn their spot in a man's heart and a man's attention. A woman wants to feel special, and how she feels special is if she knows that she had to do what she needed to do to earn your attention. If you just give a woman attention just because she's pretty, that's not going to make her feel special, because all it takes is for another pretty woman to walk up who's more pretty than her and earn your attention. So why would she feel special knowing that all she has to do to get you to do whatever she wants you to do is look pretty? I mean, anyone can look pretty, and there's always going to be a woman who's prettier than the woman you're seeking. So she's going to have that in the back of her mind. And if she really is a 9 or a 10, you know how many guys are telling her how wonderful and pretty she is already? It's nothing new. So if all she has to do is look pretty for you to give her a whole bunch of attention, she's not going to really look at you. She's going to look at you the same as all the other guys doing the same thing. A woman wants to earn her spot in your life, because that lets you know, or that lets her know, that she's special, that she did what she needed to do to earn your attention and your affection. And not any woman can come up and do the same thing that she did to earn your attention and your affection. And that is what actually gets women in, your favor. It's the less attention you give to them, especially for superficial things like looks, the more they're intrigued by you. You stand out. If a woman knows that any woman can come up to you and just flash her body and get your attention, well, that's not going to give her a whole lot of confidence and give her a whole lot of safety in knowing that she is special and she's the only one. So never ever, and for this reason alone, never ever put women on a pedestal. Don't chase women. It's not to say that if you want to ask a woman out, sure. If you want to call her and text her, respond back to her calls and texts sometimes, sure. But if you guys live in the same city, you guys should be going out. You shouldn't be spending the majority of your time on the phone anyway. You should be going out. You should be having fun. Dating is supposed to be fun. So you should be going out, having fun, doing what you're doing, going out on dates. Anyway, you shouldn't be spending the majority of your time, playing phone tag. So if you're busy, and I've actually worked with individuals who have stopped in the middle of their work, left their workstation to go answer their phones. For women that they've only known for a week, women that they were only dating. And my thing is this, is if her phone call or her text is not an absolute 911 emergency, why are you answering it? Why can't it wait? So it's like, if you got a busy life and you're doing what you need to do in your life, be busy, do what you need to do, get work done. Because a woman appreciates a guy who's getting work done, who's, taking care of his life, more than a guy who's willing to sit up and talk to her all day on the phone and he has nothing going for himself. So that's why I believe that you should not chase women. Why? Simply because they don't respond to that. They just don't respond to being chased. And this has been proven. They just do not respond to that. And at least in the way that, most guys would want them to. They respond very negatively to being chased. You come off as needy a lot of times, and you don't come off as a challenge. Women love a challenge. They absolutely love a challenge, and they love mystery. So this leads me to Jamil. So Jamil, he was one of the guys that I actually made my video for back last year. I think it was around October. And Jamil has found himself with a girlfriend now, which is good. I was very, very happy for him. He actually did find himself someone. The only problem is Jamil, from the last couple of videos that he's made, has seemed a lot more unhappier. Or he's a lot more unhappy than he was when he was complaining about not having a girlfriend. And this is because, from what he has been saying in his videos, he is very, very attached to the girl. It makes sense. This is his first girlfriend. He's very, very attached, and he's very clingy. And recently, he said that the girl said that she wanted a 2-week break. Anytime you're dating someone and they tell you that I don't want to speak to you for 2 weeks, run. Nobody is in a relationship that they want to be in and not talk to their significant other for 2 whole weeks. That's 14 days. That's a long time. That's 14 days. So if you're in a situation where your significant other says, I want a break, and I want a break for 2 weeks, you need to hightail it out of there. In my opinion, a 2-week break we're broken up at that point. There's just we're broken up. Like, who doesn't want to speak to their significant other for 2 weeks? So, and of course, Jamil was very, very distraught about this, and upset. And it's probably because he's too clingy. He's chasing her too much. And they're in a relationship. This is not like they're dating. No, they're in a relationship. So even in a relationship, you have to be very, very careful how much and how often you chase the person you're with. Even in a relationship, even after you've gotten the commitment, you have to be careful, because things like that happen. Now she's tired of him and wants a 2-week break from the relationship. Like, who doesn't? Like, just ridiculous. So, I mean, that's a very, very, very big red flag. Amongst other red flags that he's mentioned in his videos, which I won't get into because it's just ridiculous. But even though he got the relationship, he doesn't seem really all that happy. He actually seems, a lot more stressed out now that he has a girlfriend. Because getting a relationship is half the battle. Getting the number, getting the relationship is half the battle. You have to do what you have to do to keep the relationship. And in my opinion, that's a whole lot more work than getting into the relationship in the first place. So relationships aren't all they cracked up to be. They really aren't. But you have to know what you're doing. And if you're being lazy and you're slacking off, on, keeping her attention and keeping her affection, then it's going to show. And she's going to